What really happens when you quit porn? According to the internet, by day 7 you gain confidence, by day 30 you gain laser focus, and by day 90 you can probably charge a phone by staring at it. That is not how brains work. There is no universal detox clock, no magic dopamine reset, and no scientific countdown that turns everyone into a superhero. But if porn has become automatic, disruptive, or difficult to control, stopping can still change something important. It can reveal the habit loop that was making choices before you noticed there was a choice. So let us separate plausible changes from claims invented by a motivational poster at 2 in the morning. First, using porn is not automatically a disorder. The World Health Organization recognizes compulsive sexual behavior disorder. The important part is not a particular number of videos, minutes, or days per week. The important part is persistent difficulty controlling repetitive sexual behavior, plus serious distress or damage in daily life. Think less, I watch something and now I feel awkward, and more, I keep losing control and it is harming my work, relationships, health, or responsibilities. Distress based only on moral disapproval is not enough for that diagnosis. Frequency alone is not enough either. The useful question is not, am I perfectly pure? It is, am I still choosing this, or is the routine choosing for me? Now suppose you stop. The first change may not be extra energy. It may be awareness. 10 p.m. arrives. You feel bored, stressed, lonely, or simply tired. Your hand reaches for the usual website before the rest of your brain has finished the meeting. The behavior is gone, but the cue is still there. It is like removing a vending machine while leaving a giant flashing arrow that says, "Snacks used to live here." You may notice cravings, sexual thoughts, irritability, restlessness, or the sudden discovery that evenings are extremely long. Or you may feel almost nothing. A randomized study asked regular users to abstain for 7 days. Overall, abstinence did not produce a general increase in withdrawal symptoms. An exploratory finding suggested stronger craving among people who combined very frequent use with high levels of problematic use. Translation: withdrawal-like experiences can happen, especially when a pattern is intense and difficult to control. But they are not universal, and they do not follow the same internet calendar for everyone. So what improves after the first week? Usually, whatever the old behavior was actually disrupting. If late-night viewing was stealing sleep, stopping may help you sleep earlier. If it consumed an hour, you get an hour back. If secrecy was creating conflict, honest communication may help. Notice the theme. These benefits come from changing behavior and context, not from filling an invisible brain meter to 100%. And there is a catch. If you replace porn with doom scrolling until 2 in the morning, your brain is not fooled. It recognizes the same pajamas. Quitting removes an activity. It does not automatically build a better evening. That empty space matters because habits are sequences. Cue, routine, reward, stress appears. The phone is nearby. The familiar action offers relief or escape. Remove only the action, and the sequence keeps sending invitations. This is why urges may not decline in a neat straight line. You can feel fine for days. Then a stressful meeting, an argument, loneliness, or taking the phone into bed suddenly restarts the old route. If a lapse happens, one of the worst responses is, "I am back to day 0, so everything is ruined." One event does not erase every previous decision, but treating it as total failure can turn one lapse into a full return. Use it as data instead. What happened before it? What time was it? What were you feeling? What made the behavior easy? That is not a moral verdict. Your environment submitted a bug report. Fixing the conditions is more useful than yelling at the software. So what actually makes change more likely? First, add friction. Move the phone out of the bedroom. Log out. Remove saved links. Use a filter if it helps. Friction will not erase desire, but it can create the 5 seconds needed for a conscious decision. Second, choose a replacement before the urge appears. Not, "Tonight I will become productive." That is not a plan. That is a wish wearing glasses. Choose something concrete. At 10, I will walk, read, exercise, or message a friend. Third, delay rather than debate. Change rooms and wait 10 minutes. An urge is a temporary state, not a legally binding contract. Fourth, track patterns without turning the tracker into a shame scoreboard. Record time, cue, emotion, and response. You are looking for repeatable conditions, not evidence that you are a terrible person. Fifth, protect the basics. Sleep, stress, loneliness, alcohol, and unstructured time all affect self-control. Less chaos makes habits easier to manage. And if control remains difficult, or the behavior is harming daily life, professional help is a reasonable option. A 2025 meta-analysis of 20 studies found that psychotherapy, often cognitive behavioral therapy or acceptance and commitment therapy, was associated with improvements in problematic pornography use and sexual compulsivity. The evidence was promising, but not perfect. Many studies had meaningful risk of bias. Therapy is a tool, not a magic wand. A qualified professional can help identify triggers, build coping skills, and address problems feeding the loop. So, what really happens when you quit porn? Maybe nothing cinematic. You may notice triggers, recover time, sleep earlier, or feel more in control. You may also discover boredom, stress, or loneliness underneath. Uncomfortable, but useful. For one person, the right goal may be abstinence. For another, it may be reducing an automatic, disruptive pattern. The goal is not fear of sexuality. The goal is restored choice. No cape, no laser eyes, no secret level where your skin begins to glow. Just one deeply underrated superpower: making the choice on purpose.